So, what now? What do you mean, what now? The Leafs are still 5 points up on Florida. It's gonna be fine. No, like, what are you gonna do for this video? Talk about the game like always? There were literally no goals scored. Well, you know, good point. Hi, kids. Victorious puppies. This team is ruining my life. Why do I watch hockey? Stress relief. We can, and we will. I can't even say Leafs won or lost. The game was 0-0. Nothing happened. Literally nothing happened. Man, both goalies got a shutout and one of them lost. Man, let me get the dogs. I'm getting the dogs. Say nothing if you want to abolish the shootout. Good boys! Good boys! Who got to stay up late last night and got let out for a very late nighttime pee and barked at a squirrel and woke up all the neighbors? Who wants to die inside a little? The Leafs had 65.5% of the expected goals tonight. However, 65.5% of zero is zero! Has anyone ever told you sound like Charlie Day constantly all the time? So I go, there's no goals in LA, are you kidding? I got boxes full of goals. So I go on down to the Staples Center and I go, Kings, looking for some gold. And what I find out is there isn't a single gosh darn goal to be had in California. There are no goals in LA. You kidding me? Austin Wagner, Curtis McDermott, half of the players on this team are made up. You're telling me we stayed up till 1:30 in the morning looking for goals and we didn't find one? I guess the Kings are gonna be kidding me. But all you Leaf fans are getting way too worked up. So many people like, oh my goodness, the Sharks and the Kings, those are two of the worst teams in the NHL. When on Twitter, I discovered that losing to bad teams doesn't count. If you're an Atlantic Division team and you lose to bad teams, they don't count. And you listen to the most recent podcast, you see if the Habs had simply won 7 games they had lost, they'd be in the playoffs. Listen, here was that game the good. Freddie Anderson was spectacular. He wasn't called upon for too many grade A 10 bell saves, but he was really good steering rebounds into the corner. That was excellent. He was scrambling, he was battling. The defense in front of him for the most part was pretty good. Just a couple fire drills that I didn't enjoy. The penalty kill continues to look more and more improved. That's fantastic news for this team because they were bottom 10 and for a brief while bottom 5 in the entire NHL. That's bad. I looked it up. My clip before the Leaf game during the Sportsnet pregame show was about Travis Dermott and how he has to hit another level. That guy was on the ice for 66 minutes out of 65 in this one. Actually, I just looked it up. He was third? Travis Dermott, 25 minutes and 21 seconds. Justin Hall, 25 minutes and 31 seconds. And Tyson Barrie, his legs are going to fall off. 26 minutes and 14 seconds. It is absolutely peak Leafs to ask your goalie you need to be better. You got to be better, and then he gets a shutout for you, and you lose. God, we had to stay up for that. Then we got to do it again? Back-to-back night, Saturday night, folks. Green light. Green light, there's no Leaf game to hurt you. Everyone be safe, be friendly, have a designated driver, but it's okay. There won't be any Leafs to hurt you on Saturday night. Which I shouldn't even say. Freddie was absolutely spectacular. The defense has needed to rise up, and they did. Marty Marincin, who has been getting so much more ice time, only 15 minutes in this one, and he had a terrible shift, and he took a dumb penalty. Rasmus Sandin, after being a healthy scratch, played almost 19 minutes. I don't think it was personal. Dermott, Barrie, Hall, that's who's carrying the load. They have no one back there. But they were good. They're coming into their own. They're gaining confidence. They're playing responsibly up front. My God. Outside of the top line, I thought they had an alright game. Zach Hyman will win a Selke trophy in his career if they make biting legal. That guy is a badger. Honey badger don't care. It's an old video, I don't care. Shut up. He's battling right now. Remember a few games ago when we were talking about everyone's effort? That is no longer the issue. And sometimes I look at these guys, or at least shift to shift, and I go, I wonder if they're trying too hard. He's such a creative player, and when you use that creativity, sometimes it pays off with a ridiculous goal that you put behind the back between your legs and then through the other goalie. But part of me wonders if he just simplifies a little bit, if more space will open up for him. Which brings me to the rest of it. Sheldon Keefe is Futson. He is classic Futson with the second line and the Leafs depth, because he is not happy with it, and when he's not happy, he futzes with it. Futzing around. He obviously has William Nylander and John Tavares. I'm not sure it makes sense to split those two up because they've been so good together over different streaks during this season. Right now, they're battling too. And William Nylander, holy smoke, like he's battling on another level. And John Tavares is getting too much flack from this fan base because he battles in the exact same way, maybe even harder, but slower. If you watch John Tavares closely enough, I don't think you'll ever really complain about him. But Pierre Engvall, on the right wing, granted is off wing, but being given the chance of a lifetime, and Nylander has this takeover Gronk shift, unbelievable, draws a penalty, sets Pierre Engvall up in the slot, fans on the thing. That guy is gripping his stick way too tight, and Justin Hall is coming out of his struggles after he signed his contract. I thought that sapped all his power out of him, and he's been brutal. He's gotten better. Pierre Engvall, since he signed that deal, has been awful. He's been awful. You know, okay, fine defensively, whatever, good on the penalty kill. This dude was on like a 40-point pace over an 82-game season for a while with no power play time. And now, I think he's got, what did I see? He's got like one goal over the last like 15, 20 games, and it was against David Ayres! Which, in fairness, David Ayres is an undefeated Hockey Hall of Fame goalie. So then Sheldon Keefe replaces Engvall with Dennis Malgin, and he's just a cat. In that he's fast, he's feisty, but whenever Tavares and Nylander try to give him something, he just bats it away! What I did like Sheldon Keefe doing was putting Kasperi Kapanen there on the right and keeping William Nylander on the left for a little bit in the third and maybe some in the second, I think. But who would have thought this team with unbelievable depth, and they finally put Kerfoot back at 3C, which I think is probably his best role. Who would have thought this team with all this talent would be battling for goals? And watching last night, I understand Keefe's obsession with having Kerfoot on that line. I personally think this team is at its best when Kerfoot is on the third line, but the Tavares line's got to be able to do something, and I just feel like Nylander and Tavares cannot properly do their job when they don't have a winger in a good enough role. Nylander and Tavares are doing way too much of the work on that line, and I said that to a few people and they're like, they get paid enough, I think they can do some work. That's not what I mean. I don't mean so that they can coast. Kerfoot is a fast, annoying, belligerent, playmaking forward who can get you the puck. Nylander, most net front goals in the entire league, and the other guy's John Tavares. Not too many line combinations you can throw out there where John Tavares will be the second best net front presence. So, here's what I'd do. Here's what I'd try. And I wouldn't try this for the whole game. I would just do it, select shifts, different offensive zone shifts maybe, or maybe just for one period. Here's what I'd try. Nylander, Tavares, Marner. It's fun. Might kill several birds with one stone there. That's a decent line. Hyman is playing at another level. You just have to give him the respect. Matthews at center with Hyman still. But you need a playmaking forward there on the right way. Jason Spezza. I'm serious. You try it in little spots and you force Engvall, Kerfoot, Kapanen together until it works. You just gotta survive, survival mode until Mikheyev comes back, and holy smokes, did that guy turn into an important player? Can at least afford to trade Johnson. And then you can keep Goat down there on the fourth line playing his role, and Spezza can play there sometimes, and Clifford can just smash through people and then smile afterward like someone who has definitely never drank blood before, officer. And that's what I would do with the Leafs. You just keep those lines together, and you do what the Leafs did yesterday because they were clearly the better team at hockey. Even though the Kings clogged up the neutral zone, controlled the matchups on account of they were the home team, and they got some saves from Jonathan Quick. This is the problem with games go until 2 in the morning. You start overthinking everything. And I'm not even going to talk about how the game ended. You know why? 1, because it went to the shootout, and that doesn't count. That's not hockey. 2, I stayed up that whole time. First period, second period, third period, pot of coffee, overtime, and then the shootout. After the second shooter, my power went out. I didn't even get to see the end of the game! I have no idea what the shootout winner looks like. Never looked at it. I have all these people tweeting me, oh, how does it feel that X amount of millions of dollars can't buy you a shootout goal? Because those players excel at hockey, which the shootout is not. Like, wait, here, let's talk about it. Ryan O'Reilly wins the Conn Smythe last year, in part due to that amazing shootout goal he scored in the Cup final. Remember that? Oh, wait, they don't have the shootout in the playoffs because it's not hockey. It's a gimmick literally created for television. They'd rather have games end at a certain time rather than have anything matter matter at all. Steve, would you have the same energy if the Leafs weren't 1-5 in the shootout? I mean, I'd probably have less volume, but the shootout isn't hockey. It's not. Was 3-on-3. It's more hockey than that. Okay? Now let's turn the tables. Fantasy scenario. What if the Leafs had won in the shootout? How cheap would that have been for the LA Kings, who just played this staggering, smothering defensive style, to then lose a game in this thing that has no defense? Boo, it's stupid. All right, I'm done talking about the game. Questions. You're actually telling me I stayed up till 1 a.m. to watch a 0-0 game go to a shootout? Yes, you did stay up past 1 a.m. to watch a 0-0 game go to the shootout, but don't worry, person who stayed up past 1 a.m. to watch a 0-0 game. At least it ended at a decent time because of the shootout. Can you imagine if 3-on-3 overtime continued and you stayed up a whole extra 3 minutes? This is why those GM meetings, Board of Governor meeting, whatever they should ban them. It's a ridiculously expensive venture that just so that they can party in the heat. Like, seriously, what did they accomplish there other than making offside slightly less stupid and giving us cap numbers that are probably a straight up lie? Was it, oh, my lawyer is telling me to change that to probably straight up wrong. Oh, is that better? Quit working on your tan and get rid of the shootout! Was it weird watching a hockey game where nobody actually won at hockey? Well, no, I'm turning 32 next week, so, like, I've seen that before. I actually saw a tie in person. It was a 3-3 tie against Buffalo, and Owen Nolan almost got his eye taken out. Listen, it's not a thing. It's not a thing. The shootout is not a thing. And I had a couple tweets last night. Well, you know, customers paid to see an outcome. First of all, a tie is an outcome. Second of all, no, you didn't. What do you think, in the 90s when there was a tie, people got their money back? You paid to watch a hockey game. Sorry. What do you care about more, the integrity of the game or your ability to go, well, they won or lost based on garbage? Are you guys going to be doing more live SDP shows this year? I have to miss Kingston, and it's killing me. The goal is definitely to do more, for sure. And Kingston, April 4th. I just did finger guns. That was the shootout of moves. But seriously, book signing in Kingston, April 4th, and then after that, live SDP. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you liked this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell your friends that as long as the shootout is still around, nothing matters. I'm doing book signings. Here they are on the screen. Now what's on the screen is the live SDP in Kingston. Go get tickets. They're almost out.